Hello Aries, welcome to your tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. Okay. And remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And there is the Prince of Discs. So that makes me feel like you are getting ready to start building something, you know. But let's put this into some context. Wow. I think every reading for you gets better and better, Aries, because right here we have the Emperor, which is your patron card, okay? And we have, just in the path of the dove here, fire and earth. It's all fire and all earth being crossed by this major arcana lover's energy. Okay, so this is fire and earth that's coming together really into something really, I think, kind of extra special, okay? And, you know, as always, if there's anything you want me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. But it seems like you've got everything handled, right? So maybe you don't need that from me, but I offer it anyway. We're going to finish up with the path of the serpent now. More earth energy, but then a little bit of water too. So we have a nice balance of everything. There's a little bit of water. There's a little bit of air with that Gemini lovers card right there in the middle. But let's do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. Let's use Rider-Waite-Smith. And this is the card that we are going to randomly select. We are going to set it aside. We'll put the frog on top. And that card is hopefully, at the end of the reading, going to tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need, right? Okay, so we've got these majors over here. We got the fire and the earth. We've got some water, another major, more earth energy. A lot of fire, a lot of earth, okay? So I think you're really taking your creative will, your absolute divine spiritual force and fire, and you're ready to start building something, okay? Here is that Prince of Discs. This is the heir of the earth. I think you are in the planning stages. I think you're just about ready to start executing your plan, right? To put it into action. I feel like with this card here, you're somebody that plans before you build something, right? I mean, that seems like the way to go. You want to have a drawing, a blueprint, some kind of plans written down, or at least formulated in your mind before you start putting the pieces together, right? It seems logical. So I think that you're kind of in that stage now where you're doing maybe more of the engineering, more of the kind of R&D end of it. You're figuring things out. You're learning what works, what doesn't work. You're tinkering with it, you're experimenting, you are drawing up some plans, you're testing it. It's kind of like you're building the prototype still, right? But you still have to kind of tweak it, you have to kind of redo some plans, you've got your eraser, you're kind of making some changes. Because whatever you're doing is a full expression of you and who you are and what your purpose is, what your nature, what your essential spirit and soul energy is. I think you're getting ready to really put that plan into action, okay? So right now with this Prince of Discs, this is the building of the prototype, let's say, okay? And I feel like this is really the stage for you to get things as close to perfect as you can, right? We're not in a rush here. Because what you're doing ultimately is you are putting all of your love, all of your effort into this thing. Now, this lover's energy, you're building this union, okay? Now, we can look at this several different ways. To me, it feels like, to me, it almost feels like a business or an organization, maybe like a charity or a community thing or something that involves a group of people. But we can look at this a different way and say, maybe you are building, an actual, a wedding, or building an actual, not a party, but just like a gathering of people, some kind of celebration, some kind of ceremony, right? We do have this lover's energy, and we could take it literally and say that you are literally building a relationship, building a future, right? Building a marriage with someone. It could be. It could be a way to look at it. They might be a Pisces person in your life. But even if this does have to do with the, an actual coming together of you and another soul, right, in this union, this, love and romance kind of union, which it could be. And maybe as we go through this, we'll see kind of both sides of it. To me, it feels very creative. It feels like there are many people involved, so it could still be a wedding ceremony, right? But I feel like you are planning something, you're experimenting with something, you're tasting different wines, you're sampling the cake, you are looking at the different flowers or the different color patterns or, whatever you do for those sorts of ceremonies. But you're trying to get all of the details right. Okay? This is a really big deal. You are coming together in this spiritual union with someone or something. Now, this could be a creative project for you. It may not involve a wedding or any kind of a ceremony with another person. This could completely be related to your creative project, your business. It could be your forming of a spiritual or religious organization, some kind of a charitable organization, a community thing. Because I do, like I said, I have this sense of a large gathering of people. It could be, those are the people involved in this wedding ceremony, but it could be the people that are involved in this organization or whatever this is that you're putting together. Okay, I say prototype. I don't know that you're working on an actual, invention. You're not trying to kind of tinker with the next electric car or anything. I feel like it's a gathering that you're putting together. Okay. And there, if we look at it, there are a lot of signs of maybe this being a marriage. Okay. We see the Hierophant here at the very end. Now, the Hierophant is that entity that is officiating this wedding, right? The Hierophant is that which is sanctioning and blessing this marriage. Now, it doesn't have to be a romantic marriage with a person. It could be with your idea, right? You could be marrying yourself to the building of whatever this is in your life. Okay, we're using the example of a marriage because it really does fit with all of these cards. And if that is the way that it's resonating for you, congratulations. I'm very happy for you. However this is resonating with you, whichever way, I'm happy for you because this energy is spectacular. Whatever you are choosing to wed yourself to with this lover's energy doesn't have to be romantic. I'm going to keep saying that. Whatever you are forming this union with, it's going to be successful. It's going to work splendidly. It has the blessings, right? It has the divine sanction from this Hierophant that it's all going to work out. This is the right choice, whatever you're doing, okay? Now, we see these two threes, the Three of Wands and the Three of Discs. All right, we have the threes. This is not something that you're just entering into spontaneously on a whim. You wake up one day and say, I want to go get married. No, this is something that you really feel deep within your spirit is the right thing to do. It's something that you've prayed over, you've meditated upon it. You have asked for guidance. You've asked for that divine sanction, that blessing, that sign, or that synchronicity. And I think you've received that. In whatever way you open yourself up to that divine energy, I think you've received it. You've gotten that confirmation. Okay. And the first thing that we see, the Three of Wands, this is in the recent past. This is kind of like what's behind you. And this is a real commitment to your spirit, your soul, your kind of divine life, your spiritual or religious life. Okay? Maybe you're not a religious person. That's fine. This is your connection to your own character, your own integrity, your own conscience, your own higher self, whatever you believe in, whatever you acknowledge. This is that power and that commitment to it. That internal kind of guide, that spiritual guide within conscience or something like that. So with this card comes a lot of character, integrity, a lot of self-respect, a lot of setting of boundaries. Okay, so I think in the recent past you have made a rather conscious effort to not settle for anything less than absolute fulfillment, right? You've made the conscious decision not to settle for anything that doesn't have that sanction, that blessing, right? From God, goddess, spirit, deity, guardian angels, spirit guides, whatever you believe in, just your own good sense, whatever it is that you acknowledge, okay? So I feel like within the last 3 years probably, you've made that decision to not wed yourself, not marry anything or anyone that doesn't fully resonate with you, right? That has the same level of integrity and character and commitment that you do. So you're learning to trust your instincts. You're learning to trust your conscience, your higher self, right? Learning to listen to that spiritual guide within you, okay? And you've probably had several attempts at this. If this is a marriage with another person, if this is you uniting with an idea, with your project, with your work, your will, your career, maybe it's an invention, maybe it is the next electric car. Whatever it is, I think you've gone through several manifestations of this, several iterations that you've had to reject because they weren't quite perfect. Because you have this deep knowledge of yourself now and you know what you will and will not tolerate. You have certain standards and expectations that will be met or see ya. Okay, and that's, I think, a rather new thing for you. Within the last few years, I think you've really started to become that person that is so confident that if something isn't complete, if something's just a little bit off, then you don't need it, right? It's not a desperation here. So you've had time to understand, to learn about yourself and what you want, what you'll put up with and what you won't, right? The deal breakers, right? And all of that is because we have this Emperor energy down beneath everything. This is the real Aries energy. This is a full Aries. This is you embracing this Aries nature. And Aries sometimes can just jump headfirst into any situation, right? Without thinking too much. It's kind of impulsive, right? It's the cardinal fire sign. Though it's active on active, it's really intense sometimes. I think you've learned to temper this a little bit, You've learned with the threes here, the Three of Wands, we've got a Nine of Cups over here with this earth energy. You've learned to kind of get a handle on this, right? So this isn't just an impulsive fire energy down here. It's not just like maybe the Knight of Wands or something, or an Eight of Wands. No, this is the Emperor. This is someone who is in control of their faculties. What kind of an emperor would we have that, would just on a whim get into wars and battles and make decisions based on impulse or emotion? No, a good emperor is one that can make sound decisions, can listen to their advisors, right? Listen to their conscience, their intuition, their spirit guides, and make the most appropriate decision for the realm, right? For the empire itself. So I think that you've learned how to temper a little bit of this kind of rash fire energy, you know. It may be coupled with this 3. Now, the 3 of Wands is ruled by the sun in Aries. So this is a real enlightenment that you went through, right? We were talking about it being like a knowledge of self, an understanding of your boundaries, your expectations, right? Your requirements, the deal breakers, you know. I think that was a real enlightening period, and it allowed you to really fully embrace your Aries nature. You're confident, you're outgoing, you're assertive, but you're thoughtful, you're kind, right? You're very much in control, and it may seem a little bit harsh at times to other people because you can so easily say no. No, thank you. You know, you're kind. You'll say thank you. But sometimes it may shock people around you that you can easily just say, no. You can walk away from things that aren't for you, right? You have that confidence, that kind confidence, that calm assertiveness. And that I think is something that you've fought for, something that you've earned with this 3 of Wands. Now, up here is the, what is that? Knight of Pentacles, right? Fire of earth, more fire. All fire and earth. You really are achieving the marriage of fire and earth. Your creative impulse, your will, your desires, your passion, your spirit, who you are, you're uniting that with something here on the earth. You're basically, it's the marriage of heaven and earth, right? Fire and earth. The spirit and the physical coming together in this perfect union. Okay, so whatever you are coming together with really has this importance to it, right? I think this is the kind of greatest moment of your life kind of thing. And I think that's what you're focused on now. You're focused on how to create the best set of circumstances for you to express your will. What is the most appropriate decision, step by step? What are the most appropriate actions for you to manifest your fire? Your creative will, your spirit, your divine energy, your soul, your creativity, your force and fire. Step by step, moment to moment is the Knight of Discs, right? Every moment you have to decide what actions to take, what decisions to make. And that's something you're very focused on. Again, you're not just kind of going with the flow. You're not just following your whim, following your impulse. No, you're very thoughtful. You're very thoughtful. You take a moment. You pause for a beat before you make the next move. That's part of you really understanding this Aries nature that you have. Now, I don't know what planets you have in Aries, if you're watching this for your sun sign, if this is your moon sign, maybe this is your Mars, your Mercury, your Venus. It could be your Venus. But you've really been discovering what it means to have this Aries energy. Okay? And I feel like it's really paying off. I feel like you're able to put things in motion that are just really vibing with you. You know, I could just do the entire reading today just on the path of the dove here, because this is perfect. And in the immediate future, what do we have? Well, we've got the 3 of discs. We've got work. We've got the actual building, right? We've got things coming together. Now you're starting to boot up the machine. Now you're plugging everything in. You're flipping the switches, right? Everybody's coming together now. This is the gathering of people. It's event night. It's the grand opening. This is it, right? All of this planning, all of this self-knowledge, all of this intention, all of this integrity and character and this confidence, this spiritual energy that you've put into this, well, now it's time to activate it all and get yourself to the show. You know, it's event night now. And this is the beginning of the real work, right? Putting on this show, creating this event, opening the doors to this business, or going through with this wedding ceremony and the life and the work that come after that, right? Everything that comes after the ceremony. You may be on the honeymoon here with the Nine of Cups, moving over to the path of the serpent now. This is your general energy. Nine of Cups, pursuit of happiness. This is the feeling of being elated. This is the feeling of, I'm going to live happily ever after. Right? So this Nine of Cups it's kind of the honeymoon energy, Sorry, this tie is itchy. This is feeling like it's all smooth sailing from here. This is the honeymoon period. Whether it's a literal honeymoon or figuratively speaking, after this marriage, this wedding, this uniting with whatever work you're doing, whatever this project is, or whatever we are coming together with, you're going to really be on cloud 9, right? And there's a reason why it's called cloud 9. We have 9 cups. Physically, mentally, emotionally, you couldn't feel any better than you feel now, right? And we're trying to hang on to this feeling. So this is the general energy that we're going into the future with. The feeling like we can accomplish anything. We feel good in our bodies. We feel good in our minds, our hearts. We're elated. We're on cloud 9. Right? Now, the next card is this moon energy. It's in the position of your relationship. So I think that there's the sign of Pisces related to either this person that you're going to marry, or this idea, or this project, whatever it is, has this Pisces or this moon connection. Okay? I don't know how this connection is playing out for you, but in some way it's connected with that, okay? And in the position of your environment, this is a little bit of the uncertainty now. We've got the honeymoon period, but then we're also aware that, look, we've never, this is a new experience for us. We've never been exactly here before. So the future is a little bit uncertain. I think we can acknowledge that. I'm not trying to bring you down from cloud 9, but to be realistic, yeah, there are unknown things here. We don't know every single thing about this other person, or about this business, this industry, this community, whatever it is. We don't know everything. There are still secrets. There are still things for us to figure out, right? And this is just common sense, which I think is useful for this emperor. Even you can be on cloud 9 and you can still know that, look, there's still work to do. There's still things I need to figure out. There are still many things that I don't know. Okay? And that's why this card is here. Also, I believe there's a Pisces or a moon connection with the person or the place or the thing that you are coming together with, that you are uniting with. Okay. The next card is this Seven of Discs. It's in the position of what you don't want, kind of what our fears are. The fear of failure, this is pretty obvious. This doesn't need all that much time to explain. This is we don't want this to fail. We don't want our plans to fall through. We don't want this to kind of crash and burn. We want this to be a success, obviously. Right? This is kind of the obvious card in the room here. It's the key word for this card is failure. It's in the position of what we don't want. Well, we don't want failure. So how do we avoid failure? Well, this is a Seven of Discs. The sevens are about overcoming. So how do we overcome this fear? How do we overcome the failure, the potential failure? Well, just work hard. It's pretty simple. Just try your best. Don't expect results immediately. Don't expect it to be completely smooth sailing from here on out. I know we feel like it will be with this honeymoon card. But we can't expect it to be flawless, all the way through. And also remember that the reasons why you're doing this is not for the physical gains, financial gains, physical comfort, or these kind of superficial rewards, right? Which you will receive, but that's not why you're doing it. The why comes all the way back to this Three of Wands, I think. And it's something for you to know, something for you to recognize and acknowledge. And that's a very important factor in eliminating this fear of failure, right? It's remembering why we're doing this in the first place and not expecting these immediate physical rewards from this union, right? Also the other way that we can overcome that fear is this Hierophant energy. And this is accepting that this union is divinely sanctioned. This is spirit officiating this wedding, right? Now, the wedding could still be a metaphor. It could be literal, though. I don't know. Maybe you'll let me know if you're getting married or what you are uniting yourself with, right? What are you putting your soul into? The marriage of heaven and earth, right? Your soul, your creativity being given form, being given a body, right? This is a union that has been blessed by the divine. And this card doesn't need much explanation either. This is Spirit presiding over this entire reading, officiating this union, and for that we give thanks. And now let's look at this mystery card. The frog has kept both eyes on that card for us. I don't know what it is. I'd like to see maybe another union of fire and earth, right? Maybe another Lover's energy, maybe another King of Pentacles, maybe a Four of Wands even. Let's take a look. It's the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is like the Princess of Cups, right? The earth of the water. So it's interesting to me that we only saw a little bit of water here, right? Just the water, just the cloud nine, the kind of honeymoon water, right? This is the champagne, really. So having now a page or a princess of cups is, I feel like, learning how to extend this honeymoon period. It's just like it's like after the wedding, you take home a bunch of wedding cake, right? And you freeze some, you try to put some away. And you can eat a little bit every day, have a couple of bites every day. It'll last you for years, right? If it's in the deep freeze. This is taking home all the bottles of champagne from the wedding ceremony or the reception. Taking home all the bottles of wine and just maybe have a glass every night. It'll last you for a long time, right? So this is learning how to extend this feeling, right? This elation, this cloud nine feeling. Learning how to give that form, right? Because now we have earth and water, right? We had earth and fire this whole time. Now we've got a little bit of earth and water. So it's the deep sense of satisfaction, that elation, that exaltation, that cloud nine feeling, the honeymoon feeling. Learning how to prolong that, learning how to not lose that completely, right? I mean, it's kind of cloud nine one day, the next day, no more cloud nine. Now you're just doing the work. Now you just have the routine and it's mundane and it's, So we have to hang on to this sense of meaning and purpose, satisfaction, fulfillment. We have to hang on to this feeling of cloud nine, elation, exaltation, honeymoon energy. And we have to learn how to make every subsequent action, right? Because this is earth energy. Now, every decision we make, every action, every step, right? As we were talking about there. Every decision we make and every action now can have some of this water energy in it, this sense of love and joy and meaning, and almost this blissful feeling, this happiness now in everything you do. When we were giving form to the fire energy, we didn't see any water over here, right? This was all ambition, enthusiasm, intensity, spiritual force and fire. Now we have a little bit of this kind of tenderness, this kind of joy, right? It's a different vibe. And now this kind of vibe is going to be in all of your subsequent actions, right? And this is also remembering why it is that you're doing this work, even when things get tough, right? When things get a little rocky, a little bumpy, we remember why it is that we're doing this. We remember the water energy, that sense of meaning and purpose and joy and bliss, that divine connection. And that can inspire our actions as we work through into the future, right? After the ceremony, after the reception and the honeymoon, when we have to start with the real work, we have to remember that bliss and that joy from that cloud 9. I think this is really special. We're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around for that, please click on the link right here. I want to thank you for being a member to this channel. Thanks for watching these readings. Thank you for letting me read for you. Please hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let me know how this is resonating with you. And if you don't mind sharing this video with your friends, with your family on social media, that will really help us out with the algorithm. I'm starting to learn these things now. Anyway, I'm so honored that I get to read for you. I thank you so much for letting me read for you. This was a timeless reading, so whenever you happen to be watching this, I feel like this energy is meant to find you. This video was meant for you right now. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again very soon.